Hello everybody, this is Chris and I really hope you've been enjoying the videos on my channel recently. I'm going to try to make more videos to help you with different areas of your English, including pronunciation and speaking. I know that a lot of people, as well as wanting to learn the British accent and improve your pronunciation, are also looking to improve their speaking. So I want to make some videos to help you to improve your spoken English as well. So this time I want to talk about how you can describe your work in English or your job. First of all, do you know what the difference between work and job is in English? In some languages, these may be the same word or they can be easily confused. A job is normally talking about a position, such as a sales clerk or a manager or a teacher. This could be your job, but your work is the effort that you make in order to do that job. So you could say that your job is hard work or your job is a lot of work. Do you understand the difference like that? When we're at school, we often learn to say, what is your job? Or what is your profession? But in English, if you're asking somebody about their job, normally we wouldn't say, what is your job? It sounds a little bit strange. It sounds like textbook English. So a more natural way to say this would be, what do you do? What do you do? You can add so onto the beginning to make it lighter. So, what do you do? If you meet somebody for the first time and you're having a conversation with them, you can say, so, what do you do? Or, what do you do for a living? What do you do for a living? So you could answer simply by saying, I'm a, and then the job title or the description of your job. For example, I'm a software engineer. I'm a doctor, I'm a teacher, I'm a restaurant owner, and so on. You can also say, I work in, and then the name of the industry. For example, I work in software. This means I work in the software industry, but we can simply say, I work in software. Or I work in education, for example. Another example would be, I'm in insurance. This means I work in the insurance industry. So after somebody has asked you what you do, try to think of a way to describe your job in just one sentence, to explain very simply what it is you do. Can you do that? An example could be, to put it simply, I make web applications for people to buy products online. So we can use a phrase like this, to put it simply. This means I'm going to explain what I do in an easy to understand way. So you can say, I make, I create, I produce something. Okay? You can also describe the company that you work for. You can say, I work for, and then the company. For example, I work for Microsoft. But you could also say, I work at Microsoft. Here, if you say at, it emphasizes the location that you work. If you say, I work for, this emphasizes the effort that you make for that company. So you could say, I work for Microsoft, I work for Dell, or you could describe the industry. You could say, I work for a publishing company. You can also talk about the department or the function in which you work. For example, I work in the marketing department of Microsoft. Or I work in the sales department, the HR department, and so on. You can even say, I'm in marketing, I'm in sales, I'm in HR. If somebody has told you what kind of job they do, you could ask them some follow-up questions like, how long have you been in that job? How long have you been doing that job? Or how long have you been in that industry? You can also ask them how they got this job. You could say, how did you get into that job? Get into means to start doing something, to get into something. How did you get into that? How did you get into that job? And you might want to ask the other person what it's like to work for that company. So you can say, is that a good company to work for? What's it like working for Microsoft? You might also want to talk about the hours that you work. We can say part-time or full-time. Sometimes you might have a part-time job. This means you only work part of the day. Some companies now allow people to work flexibly. They allow you to choose your hours when you want to finish your work. So you could say, I work flexi time. This means that I can choose my own hours. You might also want to talk about what the company does. So you could say, I work for a company that, or I work for a company which does something. For example, I work for a company that manufactures safety equipment. Or I work for a Japanese company, an American company, a Mexican company that makes kitchen appliances. So you can say what kind of company it is and what the company does. You could even ask the person, what does that company do? I haven't heard of it before. This would be a way to continue the conversation. Then you might also want to talk about your responsibilities, what exactly you have to do in the job. The person might ask you, what exactly does that entail? Or what exactly do you do every day? Here, exactly, we don't normally say exactly. We would say exactly. We would miss out the t in the middle of the word. Exactly. So what exactly is it that you do? What are your main responsibilities? So you might describe simply what it is that you have to do. For example, I'm mainly responsible for taking inquiries from clients, finding out what the client needs, and delivering service to them. So here I used I'm mainly responsible for to talk about what you have to do. You could also say I'm in charge of. I'm mainly in charge of something. For example, I'm mainly in charge of editing the company newsletter, updating the company website, and posting content on social media. If somebody asks you whether you like your job or not, it'd be better to try to talk about it in more detail. You wouldn't just say yes or no, it's a good job. You could use other adjectives such as challenging. This means your job has a lot of challenges. It's quite difficult. Another word would be tough. It's a tough job. It means it's very difficult. Fulfilling. This means a job that makes you feel very satisfied, very good inside because you have done something good for the world, like working for a charity or working as a teacher. You could say it's very fulfilling or rewarding. Another one would be satisfying. This means it makes you feel good. It makes you feel satisfied. It's a satisfying job. But if you don't really like your job, if it's very exhausting, you could use this word, or you could say it's hard work. It's tiring. Sometimes if you work for too long, you will get very tired. You could say that I have to work long hours. This means that you have to start work very early and work till very late. You have a lot of hours every day in that job. Another way to say this would be, I have to work overtime. This means that you have to work extra hours, not just 9 till 5 every day. This is called overtime. And lastly, you might want to ask the other person, what are the benefits like? What are the benefits of your job? This could include things like paid leave. This means a vacation that you get paid for. Normally, leave is used in the US and the UK. In the UK, we might also say holiday, 10 days of paid holiday. In the US, you might hear vacation, but we don't really use this word in the UK. This is an American English word. So you could say, I get 10 days of vacation or holiday if you're in the UK. You might also get other things like a transport allowance or a food allowance or a company pension. These are other benefits of a job. Sometimes we also call these benefits perks. P-E-R-K-S. Have you heard this before? It means an attractive thing about a job. Okay, so I've given you a lot of ideas for how to talk about your job in English. I really hope that you found this video useful. Let me know if you would like me to do more videos like this, talking about different topics. And now it's your turn. Leave me a comment below this video to tell me about your job. What is it that you do? And try to say some of the things we've practiced in this lesson. And if you have any questions at all, anything that you want to know, just leave me a comment on the video or on my website and I'll get back to you. So that's all for this video. If you want to see the full text, go on over to my website. You can see all of the phrases we've learnt in this video and subscribe for more English learning content. So that's all and see you again next time. Take care.